Hello everyone and welcome to another designer special here on TGCT Live. I'm Els41, broadcasting out of Harrogate in the UK. We've got my co-presenter Dr. Yeti from Salt Lake City, Utah. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent. And our special guest, also originally from Utah, they're taking over, but now lives in Cincinnati, which is in Ohio, and I even spelt that right on my bit of paper here. It's FriendBOMBER, otherwise known as Brandon. How are you doing?
Good. Very excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to have you along with us. For those of you who don't know, Brandon has designed quite a few very, very good real course renditions. One of them
He's designed Hobble Creek, and that's all he needed to do to be the best in my book.
To be a legend, yeah.
Excellent.
We'll definitely talk a lot more about Hobble Creek as we go on, but also we're going to play TGC Sawgrass later, and his most recent release, Palo Verde, as well. But how long have you had the golf club?
I got it when it came out on Xbox One. So when was that? August, a year and a half ago, something like that. The first day it was available, I got it. So got it right away.
Had you been following it until then?
I have. Yep. I played it ever since. It was obviously the only golf game, and I couldn't pass up the only golf game coming out. But then also the designer was super exciting for me. So yeah. I would have bought it no matter what it would have been.
Excellent.
I'd have paid whatever for that.
Yeah. Had you played a lot of golf games in the past then, though?
Oh, absolutely. I grew up with Lynx 386. In fact, I had a computer in my bedroom that I manually upgraded every time Lynx 386 came out with a newer version. I would go and replace the hard drive or replace the video card or replace the monitor. I remember having to do that for one of the upgrades. And then a little bit of the Tiger Woods. I didn't never really like those as much as the Lynx courses. I love Lynx. In fact, I just recently got my old laptop out and downloaded Lynx Lynx 2003 or whatever. So I've got all those courses again, and it's really fun to play through some of that and remember those courses. But also for me, it's course data, so I can utilize that information to remake these onto TGC.
Nice. Oh, fantastic! A few old Lynx.
Did you know?
It's awesome.
Did you know the old Lynx games were developed in Salt Lake City, in Utah?
Oh, absolutely. Yep, I knew growing up. One of the nephews to the guys, so he always had them in his house.
At the stacks of discs.
I was able to borrow a couple of them. I bought a lot of the courses, which I still have, even though I can't really use them. I have all of do you remember each one came with a scorecard of the golf course? Remember that?
I do. It was usually 3 discs and the scorecard.
I have all those scorecards from all those courses.
Oh, that's cool.
And I've been wanting to frame those since I was, who knows. So I have them. They're sitting in a drawer in my office waiting to be framed one of these days. But just such a cool game.
That noise that went off was a new follower. We also had Owen AVY follow us just while we were in the loading screen there. So thanks very much for that. Let's while we're chatting, we might as well start playing your first course. So you've asked for us to play the Sunday version of Palo Verde GC, which is a desert with a lot of. You've obviously changed some of the textures around.
Yep.
So why have you? Are you being nicer to us by
buildings.
picking the Sunday one, or are you being horrible to us?
Horrible.
Oh right. Fair enough.
Yep.
You realize we're not that good at this game.
Yeah,
Have you watched this show?
I have, but I like the lighting.
Okay, fair enough.
So
So do
you're
we.
playing on you play on Xbox. You design on Xbox. Are you going to be able to play along with us at least?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm in my office, and my kids and my wife have the TV downstairs. So.
What, you mean they're not watching? What? Oh.
No,
Right.
Dad's off doing dad stuff. They don't care.
Stay in the fairway. Oh.
Right. So there's 2 spaces for people in the chat room if you want to join us, and we've got a busy chat room as well. Welcome along. OS Winner is in there. Eddie Vedder, Royce. Welcome along. Scob, Golfer Dude. The whole Driver T. It's good to have you all along. Any questions
Bugsy.
for Friend Bomber whilst we play along? Please feel free to drop them in there.
JPS Reno's in there. Haven't seen him for a while. Good to see you.
We're
Mellow.
actually playing his course tomorrow on TGCT Live.
Dog.
So that
Yeah.
should be good. So Palo Verde, then talk to us. Why does this course exist?
Okay, so I was really excited about being able to do a desert course that looked like a lush green desert course that I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I got to go down, growing up in Utah, we were able to. Junior tournaments were down in St. George, which is kind of a desert place. Lots of plateaus.
Where Hoodoo Hills is.
There you go. I remember playing that one. It's crazy. So that, I always wanted to do that. And when the desert course, or when the desert theme came out, it was very brown and dead, which, I don't really remember any desert courses looking like that, to be honest with you. So, but I still made a course, and it was fun. And then we got to be able to change the grass color, and it just fired me up. I got really excited about it. I wanted to also do a real course recreation in desert theme, but I wanted to do maybe my own first, just to, let go of some of the thoughts that I've been having on whole designs that I've been wanting to do. So that's where this course came from.
So
the
this
name,
is a build up to a real course. But
yeah,
this is a fantasy. Or
exactly. The rock wall along one here was just really practice. I was just practicing it and looking at it and kind of figuring out what I really liked with it. So you'll see it a few times throughout the course where I've just kind of practiced doing it.
ooh, I almost aced hole 2. Ooh,
I also, from the J Flower with the buildings that he did, I just liked the look of that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try that, and just when I started building this course, I was like, man, I wonder what some buildings would look like off in the distance. It just looked cool, and it made me think of Vegas. Playing a course outside of the city of Vegas. Seeing the taller buildings in the desert, and I liked it. I thought it was cool. So, yeah, thanks Jay Flower for the inspiration there. If he's on here watching,
that was a good. Oh, I wasn't far off either from a holy one. It's rolled along my sins. I actually dropped a shot on one thanks to a terrible tee shot, but this is very, very pretty so far. It actually brought the desert theme into its own again, being able to change the textures to the lusher greens. It's almost like a new theme, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think honestly they upgraded all of the plants. The textures of the plants look evolved, better details. I really think they spent some time on the desert theme and gave us a really new theme with it.
Yeah.
Because I remember the plants and stuff in the desert theme looking more blocky. But the weird thing, I don't know yet if you've seen this. Actually took this and made a winter version of it.
I haven't seen it,
And
but I will look at it immediately. Yeah.
Well, I haven't published it yet.
Oh.
I just
I'll still find a way
made it
anyway.
into a winter theme.
Yeah.
And the planting meter went from like 90% down to like 30%.
Yeah, the desert theme, everyone knows about it, is brutal on the plant meter. It just immediately spikes. Yeah, it's odd, and then if you switch themes, it drops to less than 0.5%.
Yeah, it was drastic.
I saw your little plan there and cut half the
Scarpatchy, good to see you.
This third hole
Yep.
off. I
was hoping you'd see that.
drove over the thing, and I didn't think I was going to make it, but I've made it very, very comfortably. I need a good shot here to take a shot back up.
Yeah, that was a good drive.
We've had some questions already. Scob, what's your favourite Els course to play?
My favorite Els
Yeah.
course to play? It'd be bad if I don't know your course names, but the autumn one.
Bunyip.
Yes.
Harvest.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a good course. Firmness is just a beast. But it really
gotta
just
have your
makes
wedge game on.
you have to play well there to score well. I know that one's the one I've played the most.
Yeah. That was the one I think that I was very lucky that got put on the HB suggested list and on a TGC tour. So yeah, that's probably why. But anyway, this isn't. Thanks for that question, Scott. But this isn't about me as much as I want it to be. Driver T, how many tick marks do you have on your race car? What does that mean?
So we race every Wednesday night, and whenever I win a race, usually not the official race that we're racing, more or less the practice races.
Is this on a game, by the way, or in real life?
This is on Forza 5 or
Okay.
Forza 6.
Okay, yeah.
What Forza are we on? Whenever I race, I'll paint a little new check mark on my car. But I actually haven't done that in a while. It was my Nismo that I loved. That one's got the check marks on it. But I don't know. I don't think our next season has started yet, so I'm not sure what we got going on tonight or Wednesday
I actually
night.
need to get myself on Forza, so if you do play, I'll happily join your gang, because I love racing games.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at them.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So, and I'm grateful that we do it on Wednesdays because it breaks up. If I'm spending a lot of time on the golf club, it kind of gives me a breather from that, or kind of breaks up what I'm doing. But also, a lot of times, racing games, I'll buy them and then I'll play like a little bit of it, and then I leave it alone. I forget about it, and this just gives me a reason to play it more. And
Cool.
so, really a fun thing that we do.
Good stuff. So,
That driver setup.
is Driver on there? Is Driver T any good?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Oh, good.
He always has his Dukes and Hazard car. So it's pretty
Bugsy
special.
put that long-necked guy in the chat. That's making me laugh. Saying hi to Antonio Scarpacci. Good to see you, Chief Banks. Just
What is the long neck guy? What is that?
I don't know. It's funny looking though.
Kind of reminds me of like
So
a Men
I'm
in Black
curious.
type thing.
Royce, I've got your question, but the next course we're playing isn't RCR, so I've actually written it down, and I'll ask it then if that's okay, because we'll probably talk a lot about RCRs then. Go on, yes, you
Speaking
were
of
talking.
RCRs, tell me about Hobble Creek. And now, was that kind of your breakout course where people really kind of unanimously said, "Yeah, this dude's got it"? Tell me about your design.
Yeah.
Of Hobble Creek.
I think Hobble Creek definitely got me going, but I think it was Sleepy Willow that kind of broke me out of the shell. So when I first started, right, the tools weren't very good. I didn't know, there wasn't any right or wrong. We didn't have, I didn't see anything that Tasty had done and how to shape things yet. So I hadn't learned a lot about how to design. But there wasn't any of these rules that we've kind of created for what a course should look like either. So before that, if you play my earlier courses, they're pretty rough. They're pretty rugged around the edges, and I think Sleepy Willow was my first course where it actually clicked.
Yeah.
I think I made a good course there.
You had put out like a first attempt at Hobble Creek before that, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. If you go and you play that
I did play that one a while ago. It's very rough around the edges.
Right. Right. And
You can tell it's Hobble Creek.
You can. Yep. And that was like when I got done making it, whatever. I was like, wow, that feels like a round at Hobble Creek. I kind of liked it, right? And then I left it alone, and I went on. And then once I really got comfortable with the tools, the next course that I did, which you guys are gonna laugh, is this course called Spring Meadows. And
did we play that?
Growing up,
Did we play that on this show? I think we did. Yeah.
Did you play
We
that
might
on the
have
show?
done.
Maybe
I
we
recognise
did.
the name, or it was on tour or something. Yeah.
I've made a few different versions of it as I was still learning the tools. But what it is actually growing up, me and my best friend used to go out, and this was when we were young. I mean, 10 years old, 9 years old, I don't know, around that age. And we both liked golf. You know, we loved watching, the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. It was a part of our lives. And we would take the dirt and we'd smooth it out in the shape of a fairway, and then do a little green, and like finer dirt, and make some tee boxes. And we had, sticks that were like, this was 150 yards and it was like a 1.5 foot stick. And we scaled out a full 18-hole course, right out, back at this under a tree along a creek, and just made this course. Well, I made some sketchings of it, and long time ago. So I still had that sketching, and that's what Spring Meadows is. So I took these drawings that I did of a course that we made, as kids, and then recreated it on the golf club. And then, not so long ago, he got an Xbox One, and we actually played around at Spring Meadows. It was kind of one of those moments that you just dreamed of as a kid. You never would have expected that we'd be able to play a course that we thought up, as little kids playing in the dirt on a video game. So that was that's actually a course I want to go back to now that I've gotten even better at the tools and really make it something, because I think you'll see it's still rough around the edges. Right now I'm kind of in a weird place where I keep wanting to go back to these courses I took shots at and make them better.
There are a lot of people in your position right now. When we had CSU golfer on, he's doing the same. I think even Canucks doing the same as well. So there's a lot of people who've been around a bit now and are like, let's go back and redo some of these old ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and I played Crawford Mines Remastered. I played 4 rounds of it today, and it was brutal. But it looked beautiful.
Was that the one that Crazy Canuck remodeled?
Yeah.
He's remodeling, isn't he? I don't know if he's finished it yet. He might have done.
I think he's done with it.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's one version that's done, because we played it in our tour. Our country club played it.
Okay.
And it has one green that nightmares are made of. Number 6.
Canuck's good at that.
Yeah, Canucks
literally,
very good at that.
literally number 6 nightmares are made of that. That hole can bring out scary moments. But just really, I think as I progressed, right, Sleepy Willow, I felt I'd kind of made it to the next tier, and then I wanted to go back to Hobble Creek. We had the new countryside theme, and that gave me the look that I wanted for Hobble Creek, kind of up in the mountain and more of a brownish type feel that fits with Utah.
Yeah.
So I think it was a Hobble Creek that I did next.
The only thing that you were really missing was a pine tree.
If I had a nice bushy pine tree, it'd be perfect.
I think I gave you the tip to use that one conical-looking bush, but make it really big.
Yep, I used it everywhere.
Really well.
Yeah, I think so. I feel really good with it. I think ultimately for me, the white fence I know we've asked for it. I don't know if we'll see it, but yeah.
The thing is, it's only on like 3 holes. It's on 1, 9, and 18, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's so dramatic. It's along number 5 too. But it's such a piece of the course. If I got the white fence, I would go back and remake it. And the bunkers at Hubble Creek are white, so they got really nice white sand there. So I would fix the bunkers. I'd put the white fence down, and it would be like a tear to my eye. It'd be as if you were there, I think, at that point.
Because when you were building that, I remember Yeti sending me, or maybe you even put it on your thread, a picture of Hubble Creek. But obviously you've built it in countryside with all the yellows, greens and yellows.
You're talking about the autumn, trees.
Yeah, exactly that. And that just looked incredible. Is that ever thought of that?
Yeah, I remember you asking me about that.
Didn't have any pine tree or bush that we needed, though, right?
Yep, nothing. There was nothing I could use to make it in the autumn. So I've still not used, or the harvest. I've still not used the harvest theme for anything. I think mostly because it doesn't have a pine tree in it. That just kills it for me. I don't know.
I agree. I haven't made a harvest theme course for almost the same reason. I do have to say, though, that the whole work in progress thread that you had going, that I kept posting pictures to, that was a lot of fun.
That was awesome. Every time you'd post something, I'd get really excited. I wanted to go see what you'd posted on it, and I was definitely enjoying every bit of that. I had you posting pictures, which I tried to help with, getting the sculpting right and getting trees in the right places. I also, the last time I'd been in Utah, I'd gone golfing at Hobble Creek with my dad and brothers, and I had my phone with me, and I did like a short video of almost every shot of our round. And then when I'd gotten back, I'd just taken that video, all those videos, and made, 40-minute, pews at the golf course, playing golf, and send it to them like, hey, remember this, and I'd added some silly sounds to it when we'd hit a bad shot or whatever, and I was able to use that. So I had the video to kind of help with the greens. I had my memory of the course. That was, I played there almost every day as a kid. And then those pictures that you helped me with, I just had like so much data on the course. The only thing that was really difficult with the course is I didn't have the little measuring, yellow tool. So on number 1, I think it was CLV that gave me this idea. But you place a rock every 10 yards on a flat ground.
Yeah.
And so I made like, 100 yards like that. And then I would use one of the brushes. It was the skinny rectangle one. And I would enlarge that and shorten that to the widths that I needed for the fairways, the tees, and the greens and everything. It took me forever to lay it out. Now, doing Hobble Creek would have been a lot easier.
But yeah, we're going to do a... it's not going to be too far away, actually. A TGCT Gold of Hubble Creek very soon. So keep your eyes out on YouTube for that coming up, because it's well worth a revisit for anyone that hasn't played it, and for us who haven't played it. Or I haven't played it in a while, and you guys probably have.
So this is a great course, by the way. We haven't even really talked about that at all.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It reminds me a lot of Coral Canyon in St. George. Have you ever played that one?
I think I have.
Reminds me of Beggar's Canyon, back home. What?
Beggar's Canyon. We used to shoot mutt rats. This number 11, the one that you're on, I think my video is a little bit delayed, so I'm not sure where you're at on that.
It's about 10 seconds back, I think.
This is my, I would call my signature hole on this course. This is kind of, I think, where I hit my stride with this course, is with this hole. I just love the hidden green.
Yeah.
The torn out left side of the fairway that goes into kind of a bunkerish abyss.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
Almost like a dry creek bed or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to be.
that
It
didn't
just
work.
looked cool, so I kept doing it, type of thing. I don't know. And these are some of the shots I remember having, in some of the desert courses down, these blind shots into the green shots, and um, I think ultimately for me when I'm designing a course, I'm trying to design a hole or a shot that I would want to hit as
Mm.
a player.
Yeah.
And that I think
Right.
that's where I get a lot of my feels from. Like Pele Kila, the number one hole, you have to hit over a gorge to a kind of peninsula green.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just a shot that I would love to hit in real life. I would love to have a ball right there and be able to hit an iron shot over that to the green. That's just something I would just love to do. So
Well, that's where a
I
video
think it's where
game,
a lot of
a golf video game, can blend that fantasy with reality, isn't it? And really
yeah,
make that.
exactly.
I just Yeti and I's scores. We've both been flirting with even par and above it the whole game, haven't we? I just dropped another shot there. So in the chat room, the chat room's been pretty busy. Thanks everyone. Welcome Bassman, Scarpacci. There's a couple of people in there with names that I don't necessarily recognise yet, but very much welcome along. Chief Banks, Mr. Golf.
Our Xbox One Players Club, obviously Driver is. Chief
Just
is
sipping an IPA right now.
what? IPA?
Owen is sipping a beer, having an IPA right now.
Oh,
I
nice.
just saw.
I was like, I missed that. Yes, he's known for that. The worst is when he's doing that and he's beating me when we're playing the golf club together. So, but I think I've had his number lately. I've been able to beat him. So.
But there is quite a good community on the Xbox One.
Sipping a beer, having an IPA right now.
Oh,
I
nice.
just saw.
I was like, I missed that. Yes, he's known for that. The worst is when he's doing that and he's beating me when we're playing the golf club together. So, but I think I've had his number lately. I've been able to beat him. So.
But there is quite a good community on the Xbox One, which you're part of, and it's good
Yeah,
to have a few of you guys
absolutely.
all along for this this show with us. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we have a great group of guys, and I think Callie, with the designer tour, has brought together the Xbox One designers. I think he's been really beneficial for a lot of the Xbox One community to be so tight. Something he started almost a year ago. I think Xbox One Designers Tour just had week 54.
Yeah.
So he's almost been doing it for a full year straight, and he gets a lot of the Xbox players, recognition, but plays, and I think that's helped build a strong, Xbox One designer community, along with the two clubs, which I think is kind of building a little bit of a rivalry between the two clubs. It's just really cool. It's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Oh,
So
good.
I really enjoy it.
It's good to hear of communities like that.
What's Driver T doing? Posting a service order from his work. Did you notice that?
That's
that's
classic.
funny.
Something's going to Chicago. It's primary.
Something important.
Stealing
yeah.
wire.
So, just talking about designing a little bit more. There's a few questions we asked to all our guests.
Sure.
Favorite theme, worst theme. That's two questions.
Well, I'd start out. I would say the worst theme for me is the harvest. Going back to, I don't have an eye for it. It doesn't have a good, green bushy pine tree that I could utilize. It's probably the one I don't like the
I've
most.
just fallen for a big trap on your green here, by the way. Never
Ooh.
chip people. Never, ever. Not even once. Anyway, carry on.
What did you do? I haven't seen it yet. My favorite theme has got to be the tropical theme. Obviously, Pele Kila is tropical. Pebble Beach that I did is tropical. TPC Sawgrass is tropical. I could use it again for some other, like if I wanted to do Bay Hill, it would be tropical. So tropical fits maybe the courses that would be on my bucket list. You
Yeah.
know, a course that I would want to play in real life. Pebble Beach is the top of the list for me. So tropical theme number one for me. Believe it or not, the desert theme is probably two or three.
Yeah.
Now the rustic theme. Desert and rustic theme, I think, are battling it out for the second spot. I need to get in and maybe make a new kind of fantasy course in the rustic theme. And I'm currently working on Firestone, which
Didn't you already
links-
release Firestone?
I did. This is
Firestone
the
South?
yes, this is the issue with new data for me. So I got Links 2003, and I went through and I played Firestone on there, and I got all the elevations. So from tee to fairway, from fairway to green, I wrote down all of my measurements and everything. So I'm back into Firestone, moving ground up and down and getting everything closer to real life. And then I also got that Strakaline app that I got when I did Sawgrass. And so I'm redoing the Firestone greens to the Strakaline specs. So Firestone is getting another kind of remastery, I guess. But it'll be the last one, and I'll be proud of it, I think. So,
Yeah, this
So
But
is
that-
that Strakalap app?
Strakaline is something I learned about when I was working on Sawgrass. MC Buga or whatever, he's the one that
Boga?
kind of McBoga. I don't know how you say his name, but
That'll do.
he's the one that got me taught me about it, and it's basically it's perfect for this. You've got a lot of real courses that they've went and laser gridded the greens, and you can look at each green and see a three-dimensional view of it, and then you can look at a two-dimensional and see, from this point to this point is like 8 inches down. So if
So
you
is it
really
like a digital golf app, like a digital caddy, basically.
it's just I guess if you're playing those courses, you could have that on your phone and be looking at and learn your break from that and make your putt from that. They also kind of go along with the PGA Tour. If you're watching a tournament, then you can be like, oh yeah, his green or the ball is going to break that much, and see how close he gets to it. It's really a cool app. It's only designed around the greens. So you download a course and you just get the greens. It's perfect for this. So utilizing that to get perfect greens, and that's kind of just how I am. I want to go back and make something as close to perfect as I can.
It sounds like the sort of thing that people that measure earthquakes and stuff use,
Yeah. It's not quite like a seismograph, but it's close. It's just really cool, and
that does sound very handy. Royce MM09 saying best app ever. You can make perfect greens with it.
Yep. Yeah, and we've been talking back and forth. He's got one green that on number 9 that's crazy. It's got a 4-foot change from front to back, which is just insane trying to play that golf course in real life. I can only imagine what that would be like, but you almost have to take what real life is and tone it for this game a little bit, but it is awesome to have things as close to real life as possible.
Yeah, that's what I've found being a burden to work on a real course creation, is getting a little too accurate and getting very nitpicky with it. That's what I've had trouble with.
Yeah, and you look at me, I'm back at Firestone again because I have this new data, and it's like I can't sleep until I have it on there. It's sad.
Nice.
I want it to be perfect.
Oh, stay out of there. Oh, I'm in the bunker. Actually, that's probably better. I'm in the bunker than the heavy rough.
This back 9 has eaten me up. I was -1 at the turn. I've done a Jordan, and
Well, I'm a whole
plus
ahead
2.
of you, Els. I'll hang out in this bunker for a minute.
Oh yeah, you find your ball.
So, Friend Bomber, what do you like doing better, or what do you like doing more? A real recreation or a just made up design?
I think I go back and forth with that question. There's a lot of enjoyment that I get out of a real course recreation, but there's a little bit of a line of this is starting to turn into work.
Yeah.
I mean,
guess
it's a lot of work to do. I mean, Sawgrass.
Oh, come on.
I had to go on my Mac and Google Pro and measure out everything, and then I took screenshots of all those measurements and sent them to me. So as I sat on my butt on the couch, I was able to take all those measurements from an email that I sent myself on my iPad and convert them over to the game. So there's this, because I'm on Xbox, it's a lot more work, obviously, doing it that way. But once you get all that in, then it's painting in all the fairways. And then I think the most important part with the real course recreation is the sculpting. The elevations and the sculpting brings a course to life. I think if you do one, that has to be as close to real as possible, or it's when someone plays it that is familiar with the course, they're going to be like, there should be a mound right here. They're going to think about that. And whether the course is good or bad, that's going to stand out. It's going to be the thing that they remember. So sculpting is big.
I agree about it bringing the course to life. I'm to a point now where I've, from satellite view, I've mapped out the entire 18 holes of a course I'm doing. But as soon as I added in the lumps behind the green, I immediately was like, oh, that's hole 6. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. It's so cool how just instantaneously you recognize it once the mounting is done right.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the biggest part of it. And for me, it's the easiest part. It's like, to get everything mapped out and painted is like the sculpting goes like 2 minutes.
So do you start at hole 1 and go to 18? Do you kind of jump around?
On a real course recreation, I do not. On a fantasy course like Palo Verde here, I do. I usually start at 1 and go all the way around the course and come back.
Do you map out 18 holes and then go back and actually design 18 holes, or you do 1 hole and then the next hole?
Yeah,
I worry about routing later.
I do kind of figure out, like I'll do the first maybe 5 holes, and then I figure out the next 4 to get me back to the clubhouse. And then the back 9, I'll kind of do the same thing. I'll get halfway through and then figure out how to get back to the clubhouse. Yeah. So like here 18, you're back, to the parking lot and the driving range, and the clubhouse is off to the right. I like the realness of that, I guess. I like, the cart path taking you back to a point.
Oh dear, what happened there? Sorry.
Yeah, that was dangerous.
It's all right.
This back 9 3 under
absolutely destroyed me. In fairness, I've been taking some stupid risks, but I'm going to finish +5 after being -1. I've actually done a Jordan Spieth there, just ruined, absolutely ruined by that. But I was
that was so sad.
I was also concentrating on many other things that we have.
Han has joined us. I don't know. Lowell 5. With this, Oswinner finished 3 under at Hobble Creek.
Nice. We're playing the Saturday version.
Shooting like 12 unders and 13 under at Hobble Creek, and I struggled to putt on that course, just like in real life. You did a good job.
Yeah, I think I'm tied with the course record on that one. It's like 18 under or something. Something ridiculous. Hobble Creek I play probably about once a week at some point, or once every other week. That one is like, if I can't think of anything to play, I go play Hobble Creek.
Yes. I actually showed like a YouTube video I did with Keith to the club pro at Hobble Creek the last time I was there, and he thought it was pretty badass.
Nice.
That's brilliant.
That's awesome. When I was there in October, I went in and talked to the guys about it, told them. They kind of looked at me like deer in headlights because I didn't have anything to show them. Like, hey, I remade this course on a video game. Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
You know, like they didn't know anything. They didn't know what that meant.
Oh, Oswinter did it true sim style. No
Ooh.
A's.
Oh, that's really well done.
He had strong winds too.
Nice. Ooh.
You could have just done the whole like Vietnam thing to those guys at the golf shop. You weren't there, man. You didn't get it.
I know, right?
So Palo Verde is an easy 10 for me, despite the score,
Thank you.
which was nearly 10 as well. Jeez, but no, that was absolutely fantastic, and it just shows actually what you can do with the new texture swapping tools and so on, because that was
Oh yeah.
in the original Desert theme just by itself, it wouldn't have had the sort of kick that it did.
Yeah.
So that was great. So just before we load up Sawgrass, there's hundreds of them. Let's try and find your one through another one. There actually are 11 versions of TBC Sawgrass.
Yeah.
So I'm going to load up Hobble Creek and then just do the find you through there. But just want to have a quick look at your other courses. So Palo Verde is what we just played. Sawgrass we're about to. In most cases, though, you release 4 pins, I've noticed. So you've got Pebble Beach there, Firestone, Potomac. That's a fantasy course, right? Is that right? Potomac?
Yeah, Potomac was my my U.S. Open entry course when TGC did the contest last year.
Yeah.
So that was that was basically trying to make a very hard, challenging U.S. Open style course. Had a lot of fun with it. I named all the holes. I named the creek. Made a beast of a course. It was a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. We've just gone past Pelakila, which won Keith's competition, didn't it? Is that right? Did it win?
No, second place
Second
to
place.
Driver T.
I think Driver
Yep.
T's one.
Yep, he got me. But I did do well. I got past some really big designers that I didn't expect to get past. So I was really happy to get to the final with Driver, and just a really fun competition. I really enjoyed that one. Building 3 holes at a time, and then getting good feedback off each 3 holes. It was a really fun competition.
Yeah, it was. So
Hobble Creek has 9,500 plays. You're close to the 10K mark at Hobble Creek.
I know. I made Hobble Creek famous. It's now known world round.
That's awesome.
Hobble
Els,
Creek
what
should be paying me.
TPC are we going to play?
TBC at Sawgrass.
Do the
Brackets,
Saturday
sat
version.
in big letters, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, Saturday.
Welcome along, Blue Orf.
TPC at
Good to see you.
Sawgrass Sat. I haven't played this one yet. I've played your Pebble Beach one. I've played Firestone. I've played Pelakila.
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 Yeah, that is
I think
actually
on our show
my
I said Pelakila.
wife's name in Hawaiian. Pelakila is my wife's name in Hawaiian. Her name is Priscilla.
Wow.
There's a little background there.
There we go. Were you in trouble and like, hey, I need to get out of trouble. Let's name a golf course after it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there any other way? Any
Yeah,
other
exactly.
reason?
See, that's a gesture that not everyone can do, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So this famous old course, which Ricky Fowler taught to pieces last year.
Yes.
I was actually playing a real life. My most local
Yes,
course
Oswinter.
is a course called Rudding Park, which is a golf and hotel, spa, and all the rest of it. There's also a driving range, and there's a 6-hole par 3 course, and all the holes are
Based
as
on
based on or as replicated as close to as possible real life par 3s. And I'd never really taken much notice of it until me and a mate said, oh, let's play it. And of course, hole 5 is an exact replica of 17 here. And I just stood there like, geez. I just couldn't even see it. Like, when we were walking round, it's like, you see there's water there, and there's a hole there. And you say, oh my goodness, this is Sawgrass. It's just like, oh wow. I lost a lot of golf balls.
That's cool.
A very lot of golf balls.
Yeah, there's a course around here that has 18 famous. It's called 18 famous holes.
Yeah.
And they try to remake all these all these holes around the world. And I've played it, and I wasn't that impressed. I was like, nice try, guys, but
Yeah.
spend some money next time. So, but thank you, OS Winner. I think this is my favorite version to play. I think ultimately because of the lighting. I don't know. Tends to be the one I go to the most. I know the first one I did. I didn't really take in consideration the shadows. I was thinking about the final 3 holes and how the lighting was on those final 3 holes, and
Yeah.
and so there ended up being a lot of shadows throughout the course, which I didn't even think about. And since so with the 4 pin setup, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was mindful of the shadows through those. So
Yeah.
I also was able to find pin sheets from some of the previous players' championship.
Yeah.
And able to implement. So the Saturday pins are actual Saturday pins from one of the players' tournaments. I did change on thinking the Thursday version. I made number 12 drivable, which is something that Mayhem had found out that they're planning to make 12 drivable in the future.
Yeah.
They're going to change the hole around a little bit. So I just kind of played off of that new knowledge and made that hole drivable. But I didn't leave it drivable in all 4 days, but it's kind of fun to have it drivable.
Oh, look, it's green here. Go on, little ball. Go on. Oh, damn. Smashed it.
Oh, that's good.
4-putted the second.
Oof.
So who are I mentioned about famous favorite themes and so on. Who else, other designers do you like playing courses of, or if you see someone's released one, straight away I'll play it, or
Yeah, obviously Driver T here on the chat. You always know what you're going to get with him. Rich Banker with like Spartina and Gator Hole, his attention to detail to the clubhouse and his planting. I can find inspiration from that. I see Scarpacci's on the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, his courses always have, kind of like with Driver T, they're really refined. You can tell he knows what he's doing, and he's setting up the holes, and you're always in for a good challenge when you play the course. And I see Han is on here too.
Yeah.
I remember when he first published his first course, and it basically like went straight to getting a tournament. It was I was just shocked by what he did the first time he published a course.
Yes.
And he's never backed down. He's just continually got better at what he does. I mean, there's so many. It's hard to really pick out a main favorite, but a lot of the guys, I love playing their courses for inspiration to try to take back to my own. There's just a lot of good things happening in the community.
CSU golfer, welcome along. Scobbs asked the same question that I had in the pot from Royce earlier on. What will your next RCR be?
Yeah, so that is the $1 million question. That's what I was talking about with Firestone. I need to get that one done. I need to get the elevations correct and the greens correct and get a 4-day pin set up. I hope that it gets picked up for the Bridgestone. So that's something I need to just do and get out of the way. With that one done, I have a lot of good data on courses. I have good data for Bay Hill, Quail Hollow, Scottsdale. I mean, I've almost gotten to a point where I may need to put up a vote and have you guys vote on which one I should do next or something like that. I need to figure that out.
We could put it into the TGCT live wheel of randomness. Yeah.
There you go. I'll put together a slew of courses that aren't being worked on, or and put it together and say, okay, these are the ones that have all the data I need to just make as best recreation as I can, and spin the wheel, and that's what we do, or something like that. I need to put together something like that, because there you go.
So we just finished up hole 4, and that was very well done.
Thank you.
One of those holes that you immediately recognized as soon as the flyover started happening.
I love the shot from the tee to the fairway. They really built up the tees back there and gave it just this really cool view to that, I don't know, waist bunker that goes along the fairway. And surprisingly enough, those weren't as hard as I thought they would be until I got to like the 7th hole, where it's like, there's another one. There's another one. It was like every hole had these long waist bunkers. That was the exhausting part with this course, is getting those to look right. And there's so many of them. And apparently the course uses them as cart paths. So I'm not really quite sure what they have in them. Like, I guess it's sand, but maybe more of a coarser sand. I don't know.
Yeah. That's something I wish that HB would add to the game is, well, they did add a couple of surfaces that you can toss down, but like a hard pack, just dirt.
That'd be interesting.
More of a hard pack weight,
like a waist area bunker
rather than a bunker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a whole bunch of suggestions here in the chat. Quail Hollow from HB, Hazeltine from Han.
We've had a few more join us. CSU Golfer, Doily, HB Studios, welcome along.
JPS Reno, I believe we're doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, those are tomorrow's courses.
The show on April 13th.
Yeah. One of them is a winter theme. Yay. Not enough winter themes.
So being from Utah, you surely must have been golfing once when it was snowing, right?
Yeah, yep. In fact, I vividly remember playing in state at Hobble Creek. This is when state was at my home course, and hitting my tee shot into snow, like a blizzard coming into our faces, and getting to our shots out in the fairway and hearing the horn. And then it, like, an inch of snow, so the tournament gets, 2-week delayed, and that delays us farther into winter. Playing high school golf in Utah was terrible because it was always in the fall, and I would start out like top of the team, right? And then the farther we got into the season, my scores went from like 74s to 81s because I just got worse and worse as it got colder. I hated playing high school golf. I enjoyed it, but I hated it when it was snowing in our face. It was terrible.
More talk about RCRs in there. Cypress Point, Oak Hill. Do you know, I said this on, I'm sure it was either last week's show or a previous one. I still want to see someone do the ocean course at Kiowa Island. That's a real challenge.
That would be great.
Because that would have to be probably Delta theme, which is...
Delta?
I haven't seen a Delta course for a long time.
Yeah.
And you'd have to do something special with the lighting, but that's a stunning course, isn't it? I'd love to see someone have a go at that.
Wasn't didn't Boom Boom have a Delta course a little bit ago that rocked?
Yeah, you're right. But that was quite a while back, I think.
Yeah, it was.
For me, I have to have the data on it. I have to know the mounting and the sculpting and the greens. So that's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
If I don't have the data on it, I'm not going to attempt it. There's no way. If you don't have pictures of the course or a way to see it 3-dimensionally or something like that, it's like the recipe for a disaster. You have to be able to do that. I mean, I think about all the courses that we have to choose from, and you start it up and you're like, oh, this is terrible, and you turn it off immediately. Mostly not because it's the way it's laid out. It's probably laid out exactly the way it is in real life. But you can already tell just by the sculpting of the first tee, there's a big mound in front of the tee, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're just going to turn it off because it's ultimately not a real course recreation. So obviously, that's my biggest thing. I have to be able to, like this one, Sawgrass. I have the only golf game that plays on my Mac is Perfect Golf, and they have
What did
they
you say?
have this on there.
You're not allowed that name on this show. Sorry, no, I'm only joking.
Right. Well, it was perfect for this because I was able to take screenshots and play through the course, as I was able to duplicate that here on the game. It was a major aspect. So it's just having the data, right? The data is everything. So once I have that, I used Tiger Woods to remake Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better about the greens at Pebble because I was able to scrutinize a video game and match it as close as I could off a video game. Sawgrass here, I felt pretty good about them, but I was able to get them even closer with that Straka line, just with the humps and the bounces and everything like that. So. I love getting something as close to the real thing as I possibly can. That's the best part of it for me.
So we had quite a few people join the chat with us. Blue Wharf, quite a while ago, joined us. Han, CSU Golfer's in there. DR Loden is in there. Boom Boom is in there.
Good British contingent.
Welcome along, everyone.
Rascal 1950.
Rascal is saying hello.
Is he another one of the Xbox gang? Rascal.
Man, I've had a rough go at putting the last couple holes.
I did a stupid thing on the last hole and chipped. Never chipped, not even once. And I've done it twice, damn it. Oh, I'm in the bunker on the left.
We got 32 people with us right now.
Yeah, you've drawn a crowd.
There you
Just while
we're
saying that, sorry. Thanks everyone. The amount of positive response we get to these designer specials is really, really great. So thanks for everyone who continues to watch these. I know this series has gone down very well, and we're trying to line up as many designers as possible to do one. So thanks for everyone's continued support with this series. It's going well. So thanks. Turn left. You said you were going to turn left. That didn't do anything that the thing on the floor said it was going to do. Then.
I think I've got the exact same putt you just had, Els.
Damn.
Yeah, that bunker along 9, and the way the course is designed, it aims you right at it. They're like waste bunkers are just everywhere.
Have you ever played this course, or did you purely rely on other sources of data?
For Sawgrass, I've never played this one in real life. Definitely on my bucket list.
And same with
love
Pebble?
to play. Oh, absolutely. They're both on my bucket list. I would love to play either one of those courses. Pebble, oh man, it's just such a history with Pebble. I've loved every tournament there. So recreating Pebbles was my top priority, my first love when it came to wanting to recreate a course, and I think I represented it well with my recreation. And then Sawgrass, it was just natural to want to do Sawgrass for me. But also I had good data on the course. Having good data, knowing the hills, and say like the mound on the right side of 9, I was able to kind of measure up and see how high that mound was off of the game. So I was able to take that over to the course as I was making it. It made it easy. Once I knew that how high something was to be, I could just go at it and make it as close to the real thing as possible. So that's a lot of fun. That's enjoyable.
Oh, chipped in. I needed that. Looks like more people
never
from the
checked, not
Xbox
even
gang
once.
have joined us. Happy to golf. Welcome along. Just for people who are watching us for the first time, thanks very much. You can follow this channel. There's a button to the bottom left of the screen you're watching with a little heart on it. If you click that, it means every time we're online doing anything designing or doing one of our shows, you'll get a little notification, and means you can...
And Crazy Canuck will send you $1.
He's gonna kill you. Yeah, so... But,
We need like a legal disclaimer at the end of the show. Promises made by Yeti are not...
everything that Yeti says is a lie. So, when you're not playing the golf club, but you are playing a video game, what are you playing?
Actually, lately it's been Fallout 4. It kind of sucked me back in with the new DLC that came out. So I played through that. There's a stupid achievement on there that I've been trying to get. It's called Benevolent Leader. It's mind-boggling. I've done like everything I think right to get it, and I still haven't gotten it. So that's the game that's been sucking away my life when I'm not playing this. That's about it. I was in the Tomb Raider one. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it's a shorter game. And then Forza every once in a while. That's kind of breaks up the monotony. That's pretty much it. So I try to go one game at a time.
Yeah. In between the golf club, right?
Yeah, exactly.
An interesting question here from OS Winner. After using Stracaline, do you think greens in real life actually have more elevations and breaks than people think? So I'm guessing like the amount of red and yellow slopes on the greens. And then Boom Boom says, I think we would see more yellow on some of the greens if they were truly accurate.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the red and the yellow lines kind of scares us in a way. I don't think it scares CLV at all.
No.
I think his greens are probably as close to the real thing as humanly possible. But what I try to do here with Sawgrass is I actually move the hole around a lot. I would use Stracaline, and then I'd place the hole, and I would move the area around the hole up and down to try to get the same percentage as what I was seeing on Stracaline. I would use the fuzzy oval brush the most and move it up and down all over the green, larger and smaller to get the valleys and the dips and the breaks going the right direction. It can be very frustrating at times, but I think ultimately starting out with a perfect flat surface to work with at the lowest point. So, place your green
And then go up.
Make it completely level, all the way off the edges, so you have a completely flat surface to work with, and then start building up from there and get the humps and the bumps. Is kind of how I start. So I always start with a flat surface. And I think starting with a flat surface for your tees and your fairways helps get the lines straight. So each one of these holes, and if you followed the work in progress thread, you would see I laid out all the measurements and kind of drew out the fairways with the little measuring tools, and then I went behind that and painted the fairways, and then the light rough around that, and then I went back and raised and moved bumps around, and so I think you don't get as many jagged lines with the fairways and the light rough. It's a process, and I think starting out flat is the right thing to do, and then moving around your elevations from there. I think that would work the best with the greens too.
Because when you're watching the Masters last week, some of the greens at Augusta, if you literally pick them up and plonk them straight in the golf club, there'd be yellow and red on them.
Yeah, and I think CLV nailed him. I really think his ability with the greens is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't make greens like he does. I mean, he just has. When you play tournaments at his courses, you're nervous the entire time. You're basically sweating at each shot because of the way he's designed his greens. I don't. I have a hard time making greens like that. Mine are softer. But I think that's just how each designer has their own feel as they're going about the course and how they like to create it.
Boom Boom says, I agree, Bomber. 20 million %. I think that's what it is.
Nice.
Do we think then? Okay, so CSU Golfer has said there at Chambers Bay, 80% of the green would be yellow or red. Do we think then that the way that the ball reacts to yellow or red in the golf club is right or wrong?
There's definitely some physics that aren't real when it comes to a video game, and it's probably really tough to program real life physics into it. I think the physics are pretty good, but I don't think they're perfect. I mean, obviously with a flop shot, I don't know how. I don't see pros doing that from the fringe, right?
Yeah.
Flop shot within 2 inches. There's some physics there, I think, that aren't quite perfect, but.
Blue Orf made a comment that I think is pretty key to this: is more yellow, yes, but not around the hole. And I agree with that completely.
I agree with that.
I think that some of the slopes can be, very steep slopes for longer periods of time, but the hole itself needs to be a good distance away from yellow and red slopes. And he makes another point right after that. You need to lag properly. So if you're at the top of a hill, you should be able to putt the ball and have it stop by the hole if you're above it. But yeah, I would think in real life, a lot of courses are a lot more yellow than even some of the toughest courses here on TGCT or on the
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I know Hobble Creek would be a lot more yellow if I would have if I had tried to stay as true to what they are in real life. It would be a lot more yellow on this game, and I think the yellow scares designers. It scares me. Like, I try to place the hole on a slope, but I don't want to put it on yellow because on this game, when it's on yellow, it just pisses you off. It's terrible at that point. And something I was talking to let's see, who was I talking to about it? Basically, the grid. This is something I learned about the designer. The grid, when you're designing, is in one direction, basically. Every time you look at it and you're moving mounds around, it's in one direction. But when you putt, the grid moves with you. So when you're putting, the grid is at a different angle than when you're designing. And that could actually cause yellow to show up. So you have to be really careful when you're designing, because you may not see any yellow when you're designing it. And then when you go and you test it, it's like, the hole's right on yellow. I didn't see that. It's not there when I'm designing, right? Yeah. So you have to be really careful.
The trick there in the designer, if you approach the green from different angles, it redraws the grid at the direction you get onto the green at. So I'll usually move the little circular marker off the green, maybe move 40 degrees and go back on the green. Check it, move off, rotate 30 or 40 degrees, go back on it. So I'll check the green from probably 6 to 10 different directions. And you're right, it does, if you go one direction, you're like, that's all green. And then you get to the other side and jump on the green, you're like, no, that's actually closer to yellow.
Wow, I didn't know that it did that.
Yeah, CSU Golfer and Han have both just mentioned said the same thing exists as well.
Well, there you go. You learned something new today.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You don't know everything about the designer. What are you doing on this designer special? I'm just kidding. Sarcasm.
and you're getting to the. You're probably already there. I'm like 10 seconds behind your video, but 16, 17, and 18 are just so fantastic on this course.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Oh, I just rolled one through 16 there. Phoenix Jay saying when he scopes a green, he always tries to remove the red, but have to admit, I just can't see the yellow after a session and come back and it has appeared. I've seen that every once in a while.
Red has appeared. Yeah. And the hours I spent on these retaining walls, can't even tell you.
I don't want to
even
know,
know
like, how long I've spent in my life building retaining walls.
Yep.
Sad.
That was stupid. It's just...
So, I've spent 2,226 hours playing this game,
Great.
which is
Nice.
92 days, right? I bet
That's
half
3
of
months.
half of that, yeah, that's 3 months straight playing this game. I bet half of that is spent on retaining walls.
Oh, no. Oh, who's blue? Oh, Keith. Keith has thrown a dart in. Right, this is a hole-in-one challenge if ever there was one. Okay, come on. I got a hole-in-one on Yeti's
got a
course
good
last
one.
week. I can get a hole-in-one here. Right, so 129 is the yardage if I take the 3 off. I probably need to add a pin. Isn't a pin usually over on the right? On this hole, by the way.
That's
Maybe
Sunday
not on
pin.
Saturday. Oh, is it
The
Sun-
Sunday
oh,
pin
that's
is,
it.
yeah, this is Saturday.
I want to hit this about
Yeah,
one.
Sunday pin's right over that little bunker, isn't it?
Uh-huh, yeah. If you play the Sunday version, it's over there.
That goes 139. That might be a bit far because that's 10 over that.
Strain yourself over there, else.
Sorry,
Just the maths.
the maths
Maths
is
are hurting your head.
complicating my head. It is 1:30 in the morning here, and I'm trying to do maths on a golf game.
Yeah. How do you do that? Do you not sleep?
Have you seen me play? Not very well.
Oh, man.
Mine was absolutely terrible. I was 23 feet away.
I can only imagine, Han, all the retaining walls you did at the Belfry.
So I think you mentioned that Pep is your favorite RCR that you've done. Was that right?
I would say
Did you not
Pebble in
mention
this
that?
one. Yeah, Pebble is by far my favorite course when
you've
it
done.
comes to what I want to play in real life. If I was to compare Pebble to Sawgrass, I don't know. They're hand on hand, I think, for me when it comes to just how everything went and worked and got put together and looks and feels. It's really hard to split those two. And I'm going to throw Firestone in there too because I love the old school tight fairway golf course that Firestone is. I really like the old school courses. But it's really hard for me to put one above the other. And then you have Hobble. I mean, that one's probably the one I played the most out of all of them. You know, just like it brings back, good feelings of being back in Utah and playing Hobble Creek at any moment. It's just awesome.
Doubtful Obelisk has asked if we can answer his question. I must have missed it in the chat room. Sorry,
so
dude.
Doubtful Obelisk is saying this is a triple post now. Oh.
Why? He said, "Why is it?
you were banned
why
years
is
ago.
why
I don't
is
know
hole
why you're-
10 40 yards longer than in real life?"
So, I did see his question, but then I forgot about it, so I apologize. So there's a tee box that they built that's back there, and you can see it on Google Pro, and they actually play from there. So I moved the tees back to where that is now. So it can play as a shorter par 4, but I think for the pros, they move it back to a tee box that causes more of a draw off the tee. So it's there, and it gets played in tournament play, but I don't know if it's used regularly. But I hope that answers your question. Good question,
Are you
though.
happy now?
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, I didn't realize that tee was there and I had it at the 420 yardish mark, and then I realized it there and went back in and added the tee later. So,
So is it a hole during the players that they'll actually move it forward and back a full 40 or 50 yards
I have no idea.
between the days? Okay.
It's possible, but they have a really large tee box back there to really make they can almost make the tees blocked by trees where they really have to hit a draw off the tee. It's right up hugged next to a pond, and then the trees aren't too far in front of them. So I think it's just to really build the difficulty of the hole, which it's a tough hole to begin with. It's a really tight, skinny fairway with one of those waste bunkers going along it to a narrow landing area. It's just tough. I can't imagine playing that course like the pros do.
Oh.
In the humidity, so the ball doesn't fly as far.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be tough.
Crazy difficult. That was absolutely brilliant. A bit gutted I finished with a 73 actually.
Oh, we tied.
Yeah, it's very, very well done recreation. 16, 17, 18 were absolutely fantastic. Again, it's an easy... Oh, my handicap's making funny noises. Easy 10 for me. So you should definitely, chat room, YouTubers, go and check out Hobble Creek. We've talked about it enough. Which is another one of FriendBOMBER's recreations. But definitely check out Sawgrass and Palo Verde we played. Thank you very much for joining us. How was that? Was it all right?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It was awesome. Super happy.
No problem. And keep up the good work. Because, particularly people... RCRs seem to be something that are in very high demand at the moment, and everyone seems to want to see how well... Not just want to see their favourite courses get created, but see better and better versions of them coming out. So you, as well as people like CLV, are flying the flag pretty much in the RCR department, and of course create very high quality fantasy courses as well. So it was great to have you along.
We're getting a lot of positive feedback in the chat room here. Thanks, friend Bomber from CSU Golfer. Driver T, good job, Bomber. Cheers, Bomber from OS Winner.
Yeah.
Driver T's saying Keith took y'all to the woodshed. I think he beat us by like 12 strokes or something.
Yeah, but he does work for the company that make the game.
I just like the way you said that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was very
Thank
good.
you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, chat room. Of course, thanks to the chat room. Be sure to check us out on the YouTubes, and we'll certainly be playing Hobble Creek on an upcoming Gold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And as I mentioned earlier, thanks again for the Champions United people for joining us, and thanks for constantly retweeting all of the TGC Tours tweets. I noticed that you guys retweet a lot of that stuff, so thanks very much for that. We will see you again tomorrow evening when we play two courses, JPS Reno's course, the Montreux, and Arctic Fury's snow-filled Phantoms Pass. So we'll see you same time tomorrow evening for the regular TGCT Live, and there'll no doubt be another designer special coming along soon. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.